Today, we're going to connect the dots on a journey that starts somewhere you'd never expect, your kitchen, and ends in a full-blown international conflict. Let's dive right in.
Okay, first things first, I want you to look at this number, 7,000 rupees. Now, what if I told you that this could be the price of your next cooking gas cylinder? I mean, that's a shocking thought, isn't it? Well, for thousands of businesses across India, this isn't some hypothetical situation. It's their grim reality. Right now, the official price for a commercial LPG cylinder is floating around 1,900 rupees. But on the black market, businesses in Bangalore are being forced to pay up to 7,000. And get this, in Kerala, it's an absolutely unbelievable 9,000 rupees.
And you can just feel the frustration coming directly from the people on the front lines. This quote is from Sunil, a coffee bar owner in Bengaluru. He's convinced this shortage is being engineered, and his plea for the government to step in, well, that's a cry we're hearing from small business owners all across the country.
And this is where you start to see the real-world domino effect. Popular spots like Krishnasagar and Buy Two Coffee in Bengaluru are actually having to shut down temporarily. Others are being forced to go back to using firewood. For you, the customer, this means prices for your favorite foods are going up. The crisis is even pushing some to do something really dangerous and illegal, use domestic cylinders for commercial purposes.
So what's causing all this chaos on the ground? Well, to understand that, we have to look away from the land and out to sea.
This right here is the Strait of Hormuz. Think of it as a massive, absolutely essential highway for the world's energy. About a fifth of all global crude oil and LNG has to pass through this one narrow channel. So you can see why it's a critical choke point for India's energy supply.
And right now, that vital supply line is choked. We have 22 Indian vessels literally stuck, unable to get through. And here's the crucial part. It's what's on them. 6 of those ships are LPG carriers. That's cooking gas for millions of homes and businesses, just sitting there, stranded at sea.
So in response, the Indian Navy has ramped up something called Operation Sankalp. Now this mission isn't new, but it has become more critical than ever before. They're using a rotation of 23 warships to basically create a protective corridor, escorting our ships through the danger zone. They've already managed to get tankers like the Shivalik and Nanda Devi through safely.
Okay, so a naval blockade is causing the shortage, but that just leads to the next question, right? What led to the blockade in the first place? For that, we need to zoom out and look at the wider conflict in West Asia.
What we've been watching is a classic, and very dangerous, tit-for-tat escalation. The conflict really flared up with U.S. strikes on a key Iranian oil hub. Then, Iran's proxies hit back with drone attacks on U.S. bases. And the final move in this incredibly risky chess game, Iran decided to use the Strait of Hormuz itself as a strategic weapon, effectively shutting it down.
Now, officially, Iran claims the strait is open to everyone except the US and Israel. But the reality for any ship trying to pass through is very different. It's become an extremely dangerous place, insurance costs have skyrocketed, and for many commercial ships, passage is now nearly impossible. And this geopolitical fire, happening thousands of miles away, is creating a massive economic shockwave right back here at home in India.
30 trillion rupees. Just let that number sink in. That is the staggering amount of investor wealth that has been wiped clean off the Indian stock market in just 2 weeks because of this crisis.
And it's hitting the biggest names you can think of. What's really telling is the impact on the banking sector. The State Bank of India lost over 89,000 crore in market value in just 1 week. HDFC Bank lost over 61,000 crore. You know, these aren't just small changes. This is major blow to the financial system. This chart visualizes the tension perfectly. Foreign investors, you can see, they're spooked by all the instability. They've pulled over 1 lakh crore rupees out of India so far this year. At the same time, you've got our domestic institutions stepping in, buying up shares, trying to stabilize the market. It's a real financial tug-of-war.
And look, the pain goes way beyond the stock market. Agra's famous Paitha industry is struggling to get fuel. Darjeeling's tea estates are at risk. Small and medium businesses all over are facing shutdowns and job losses. Even major export sectors like aluminum are feeling the heat. This crisis is touching every single corner of the Indian economy.
So, let's just recap the chain reaction we've uncovered. A war in West Asia leads to a naval blockade. That triggers a severe LPG shortage in India, which sparks a black market, and that sends a 30 trillion rupee shockwave through our economy. Which brings us to a really critical question about India's future.
Has this crisis, with all its interconnected parts, just exposed a fundamental weakness?
Is India's incredible growth story actually more vulnerable to conflicts happening thousands of miles away than we thought? It's a question that policymakers, business leaders, and frankly, all of us need to start considering very, very seriously.
And that's all for this explainer. If you found this useful, please do like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives. We'd really love to hear your thoughts on India's energy security, so drop a comment below. Thanks for watching.